Good morning, everybody. A very big welcome to the opening event for the third Race Equality Week. I'm Raj Tulsiani, the Chief Executive of Green Park, and I'm chairing today's event. I'm also the chair of Race Equality Matters, which I co-founded with Javed from the Collaboratory in 2020. It's fantastic to have so much support here today, and we're due to be joined by over 200 organisations from 100 different cities and towns, ranging from Wrexham to York, Birmingham to Belfast, London to Lagos, and Carlisle to Chennai. So it clearly shows the appetite to both collaborate and be a catalyst for change. But I suspect it also shows a little frustration with progress to date. Before we start, a little bit of housekeeping. We'll be recording the event for you to access later along with the slides. When you do get that recording, please use it for some good. Your sound will be auto-disabled as with the way these things now. Someone said auto-disabled, let's take it.
Blaze, you mute everyone, please, and then get Raj back on.
Right, guys, you'll have to all mute. I don't know how loud this is going to.
Blaze, mute everyone. Yep.
Well, okay, at least someone's doing it in a group. So please do tweet and use your social media, both for the content and to publicise the events, so we can create a Race Equality Week buzz. And you can see our social media handles on the right there. Remember our hashtag, it's everyone's business, because whether it's about getting better clients, releasing the product of the productivity through engagement, or just being a business that people can trust, it's really important that organisations understand that this is a way of unlocking talent that has otherwise been somewhat ignored. So all of this would not be possible without the support of our partners, who alongside Green Park have been funding Race Equality Matters. A huge thank you to Lloyd's of London. The main man, Mark Lomas, is here today, the head of culture. Without them, it would have been very difficult for us to power Race Equality Week at this scale. A big time thank you as well to our lifetime visionary partner who helped us set up, British Telecom, and also current key partners, Auto Trader, HS2, Edelman, and Network Rail. Their support means we can run Race Equality Week, and that you, your allies, your networks, your colleagues can access all of our resources for free. But we are a not-for-profit, and we're very keen to keep going, and indeed in need of further funding. So if your organisation would like to get involved with funding, sponsorship, marketing opportunities, or just putting your weight behind what we're trying to do here, please do get in touch to find out more. So today's session is going to be dynamic and super fast pace. We've got lots to pack in before 10:45. There's going to be some polls for those of you who are regular attendees. Will all know that we like to tell people what's in the room and what people are thinking at the start. You'll hear from Mark Lomas from Lloyd's of London and Navleen Kalra from Network Rail. We will introduce you to two key new resources, the 5-day challenge, which I believe has really got 1.8 million people signed up, and the Big Promise tool, so your employees can show their commitment to change. You'll hear what some spotlight organisations are doing for Race Equality Week. We'll share what else is happening during the week and let you know about an exclusive special offer for today's attendees. We will finish at 10:45, and for those who want to stay on, we'll have a small Q&A at the end. So without further ado, let's get into the poll.
Thank you all for taking part in the poll. It's really helpful, sharing the results. So it's more or less 50-50, half identified as ethnically diverse or appropriate equivalent, and the others as allies. Question 2, looking at where people sit in their organisation. 14% senior leaders, 10% HR, 20% D&I, 21% race network members, 12% race network leads, and 37% others. And as Raj touched upon, it's great to see that it's spreading, because it's typically the ones above who has to spend their time and energy. So it's good to have a wider, more diverse representative from organisations attending today. Moving on to question 4, How is your organisation addressing race inequality? 44% say focuses on action, change and impact. 10% just talks or does very little. And 37% says talks and does a little bit of action. So quite a mix there. But hopefully with Race Equality Week and the focus is everyone's business, that will change. Which activities are your company doing during Race Equality Week? As you can see, over 90% have got plans, with 56% saying the 5-day challenge. 1 in 4 of you, the big promise. 1 in 4 of you, my name is, so it's good to see that going still. And then 23%, like 1 in 4 of you, organising internal events. We can see tea break and safe space, 11% and 8% respectively. Question 6, how much effort is your organisation making to make race equality everyone's business, the heart of this year's theme? Only 22% saying a great deal, 42% saying a fair amount, and then 33% saying little, not enough, or none at all. So hopefully we can change these numbers during the week. In your organisation, who do you think is playing a key part in tackling race inequality? As per usual, 59% said it's the ethnically diverse colleagues. So even though typically minority numbers, they're the majority doing the work, which is not how it's meant to be or needs to be. Again, 52% D&I function and 38% HR, again, which is typically, and quite often they're working solo. 41% seeing leaders and 24% managers. Again, this is quite similar to our other polls. So not enough are seeing key people driving it. And very sad, 19%, so 1 in 5 of us, I think very few people are making a difference. Question 8. In your organisation, of those who are not ethnically diverse, approximately what percentage are tackling race inequality? So those that are not ethnically diverse, what percentage are tackling race inequality? As you can see here, 62% of you are saying 1 in 4, or it could be looked at 62% think 3 in 4 people are not tackling race inequality, which is huge. At the other end of the scale, 18% think the majority. I guess during Race Equality Week and over the next 12 months or so, we want to really increase this number. Because as we know, those who are not identify as ethnically diverse are the majority of employees. And until we get the majority of them tackling it, change will continue to be slow or blocked. Number 9, in your organisation, do you think tackling race inequality is currently everyone's business? So 56% of you say yes, so roughly half, and the rest saying not sure or no. And question 10, has your organisation done anything that has made a noticeable impact in tackling race inequality? Again, consistent, so 51% of you saying yes, you have, and we'd love to reach out to you and hear more about what's making a difference. So we can share, like Network Rail shared there, things that's working, and Lloyd's of London shared theirs. So thank you all for taking part in the poll.
So if we move on to the next slide, an introduction to Race Equality Week. Race Equality Week was created to be a catalyst for ongoing continuous change. We aimed, and I think to some extent have been successful, of uniting thousands of organisations and millions of employees on their journey to tackling racial inequality. The UK has got a massive productivity issue. The cheapest way of dealing with that productivity issue is by higher levels of engagement and inclusion, to release the value of employees who currently are not being utilised to the best of their abilities. Now, the cheapest way of doing that is through incremental improvements in intersectional equality. You cannot do that by ignoring race. It is the key that unlocks productivity in the UK. We also want to help senior leaders focus and drive change, not just in their best interests, but in the best interests of their organisations and wider society. The inaugural Race Equality Week takes in February 2021, with over 2,000 organisations involved, reaching 1 million plus people. 2 years on this year, it's even bigger, with 4,500 organisations engaged, and we're hoping to reach somewhere between 3 and 4 million people. But to create the change we all want to see, and indeed we all want to feel, we still need more organisations to both get involved and to drive change across the length and breadth of the UK and beyond. We need all of you to be part of it and to tell others you are not just involved via your social media channels and other internal and external communications, but tell the story and share the good practice that you may learn about this week. It really is about creating a wider societal change through business. To support you, you can download a participation pack with social media images and logos. Please do use them. It's the only way we can get our message out at scale. Virtual backgrounds, suggested web copy, and an email folder. And we put that link in the chat for everybody to be able to access should they wish to. To set the scene, we're going to share a quick video to bring a bit of last year's Race Equality Week into your rooms and workplaces.
Here, take this one.
Thank you. Blaze, can you mute everyone, please, and then I'll come back on? Thank you. Okay, thank you, Raj. So you may recall the first Race Equality Week theme was "Let's not go back to normal." Last year was action, not just. Let's not go back to normal. Last year, 2022, it was let's not go. Action, not just words, and it was good to see Black History Month keep a focus on that. And then this year's theme for Race Equality Week is "It's everyone's business." Blaze, can you move the slides on, please? Yep. Okay, from our findings, 79% of respondents believe by making it everyone's business will make an impact on tackling race inequality. So to find out more about this, and without any further ado, on to our first speaker. So we're delighted to introduce a very special guest, as Raj mentioned, a real change maker, Mark Lomas, who's head of culture of Lloyd's of London. Lloyd's is the world's leading insurance and reinsurance marketplace. Please unmute yourself, Mark. Thank you. For those who may not know Mark, he's delivered numerous diversity and inclusion projects in the UK and internationally across a wide variety of sectors. He's also a multi-award winner and author, having helped the BBC, Law Society, HS2, and now Lloyd's of London. In 2021, was recognised by D&I Leader Company as one of the top 100 global inspirational D&I leaders. So it's great and an honour to have him here. Blaze, take slides down, please. Thank you. Mark, a huge welcome and thanks for joining today. We've gone through it yourself, and we know you've only got 3 minutes to keep this going. So why is Race Equality Week and the theme important, and what are Lloyd's plans for this week, and what impact do you hope this will make? Thank you.
Great, thank you so much for having me. I think first of all, we're really happy to be the headline sponsor for the next few years. You know, it's part of our commitments. It came out of our long-term ethnicity plan and our research into the lived experience of ethnically diverse groups in our market. And we've selected a number of tools, not only for Lloyd's, the corporation, but the whole market to use. I think, why is it everyone's business? At the simplest level, everyone benefits from an inclusive environment. And so it is everybody's job to contribute to that. But it's not just enough to have a handful of allies. Still today, no matter what kind of company or sector you look at, generally ethnically diverse people are underrepresented amongst decision makers and leaders. We need far more of the leadership to step up, because that critical mass is very important. How we kind of get everyone on board at Lloyd's, we have culture and D&I KPIs for our entire senior leadership group, which are specifically linked to performance and bonus. And culture is one of our 4 strategic pillars. So it literally is baked into the strategy of the business. And individually, our CEO, our chief people officer, and other ExCo members have made their big promises or are rolling out the 5-day challenge, or my name is, in their part of the business. And we expect this over time, not just this year, but over the subsequent years of our partnership, to have a big impact. I mean, insurance had the second lowest participation of any sector in Race Equality Week last year. And we want to change that. And we're already seeing, I think there are more than 26 firms in our insurance market participating, and we expect that number to increase. I think for us, importantly, we've embarked on the partnership because these are tools that you should use year round, not just sort of during Race Equality Week, but continue their use. And because we are a global market and we regularly interact with global colleagues on a daily basis, the My Name Is tool is fantastic for our global business, and we're really looking forward to seeing how our global teams engage with that. And then if I think about sort of the challenge or the impact of the 5-day challenge and the big promise, I think it falls into 2 buckets for me. Firstly, it builds on education and awareness, which you get with some of the parts of the 5-day challenge. And then critically, it moves it into action. And particularly with the 5-day challenge, what I like about it is that individuals can do it, teams can do it as a kind of group event over the week. And it leads to something specific. You saying, I will do this, and you can be held accountable for it. So I've published my big promise on my LinkedIn this morning. So what's everyone waiting for is probably what I'd say. But thank you so much for having me.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mark. And we can hear more from Mark at tomorrow's event, which we'll explain a bit later. Mark touched upon it, and many of you may recall one of the key things of Race Equality Week last year was My Name Is. We built a fantastic tool in collaboration with Edelman, and we're continuously seeing more organizations and employees adding phonetic spellings of names to email footers. So you can see some examples there. Next slide, please. And this is just the reach and impact of it. So 1.74 billion impressions. This is dated, so the numbers have gone up, and we hope 5-day challenge can start making inroads into them incredible figures. Next slide, thank you. So this year, and to help organization and colleagues with the theme It's Everyone's Business, as Mark touched upon, we've created a 5-day challenge and big promise tools. Next slide. The 5-day challenge was developed exclusively for Race Equality Week 2023. And as Mark says, you can use it beyond. It's been specifically designed to support the theme It's Everyone's Business. Driving race equality should not just be on the shoulders of ethnic diverse colleagues. And with the help of allies and senior leaders and the wider workforce, change can happen at a greater rate and with greater impact. If you came to our Get Ready for Black History Month events last year, you may have heard about the 21-day challenge, and you'd heard incredible Natalie Watt speaking about introducing that idea to Equans. So we built with the community because we know limited time makes it difficult to implement effective initiatives, especially those that make an impact. So therefore, with the community, we've created a 5-day challenge to alleviate this barrier. When it comes to plan activity, the Race Equality Week 5-day challenge is something you can access and run internally as part of your Race Equality Week activity. And as Mark says, on your own in teams, etc. It's simple, 5 challenges that take 5 minutes over 5 days. They're bite-sized, accessible to maximize maximum colleague involvement and engagement. It's includes videos, articles, and eye openers. As I said, all this takes typically 5 minutes to kind of go through. There's different ones for each day. Next slide, please. So to support you, there is a project manager or the lead for your organization, how to do it right guide, and it explains it all in there and how to run it. And already we've had 500 different organizations reaching 2 million employees download it. How's yours? Next slide, please.
I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
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 Hi, I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
I am doing the 5-day challenge.
I'm 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 Alex, and I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
I'm doing the 5-day challenge.
GI Group Holding is doing the 5-day challenge.
Thank you, Blaise. Included in it, we look at microaggressions, getting people's names right, and also how to the difference between not racist and anti-racist, key topics that the community brought up. So please do look at it. And it's a free resource thanks to the support of our funders in Green Park and Lloyd's. Okay, so the sub-theme for this is action drives change, which Mark talked upon. It's less talking, more action. So I'm delighted to introduce our second speaker, Navleen Kalra, from one of our fantastic partners and a Race Equality Matters trailblazer, Network Rail. Please unmute yourself, Navleen. Thank you. Network Rail repairs and develops the railway infrastructure in England, Scotland, Wales. They also manage 20 of the country's largest stations. Navleen joined Network Rail in September 2021 as HR Director of Transformation after more than 20 years experience in various senior level HR roles in different sectors, including aviation, oil and gas, and telecoms. So she knows her stuff. She recently took on the additional responsibility of Network Rail's EDI function, which supports its ambition to be a more inclusive business for all. So a huge welcome, Navleen. As Mark kept to, we've got fast-paced 3 minutes, and we've asked you kindly to cover why you think the week and the theme, It's Everyone's Business, is important, what Network Rail has driven since last Race Equality Week, and in particular, please share your plans or how you're going to make it everyone's business. Thank you, Navleen.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, everyone, and it's my absolute pleasure to be coming in and speaking on behalf of Network Rail here. I think what you guys do is great, getting organizations together, sharing best practice, and we need to encourage that. And I'm really thankful to be a part of this. So I have to congratulate you on choosing, It's Everyone's Business as the theme this year, because I'm one person who's really passionate about inclusion. And inclusion is, something that leadership has to drive, but it is absolutely on ground in everyday interactions that it has to be manifested. And that's how you give that sense of belonging to the marginalized colleagues. So this theme that you've chosen is really brilliant. What have we been doing in Network Rail since the last year? So we've been continuing with a couple of things that I'll share with you. You'll share more on the allyship model, and I'll encourage you all to join the session tomorrow, which Lily Kitchen from my team and Jyoti Jassi will be leading from the network, because they're doing some brilliant work on allyship and how to move from allyship to active sponsorship. But what in particular we have been doing is we've been promoting and continuing with our workshops on leading with confidence for our leaders. It's a very good half-day immersive workshop, which really helps you question and recognize your blind spots. It has been hugely successful, and our surveys since doing those workshops have shown that 9 out of 10 employees feel that more comfortable in reaching out to their leaders and talk about issues related to D&I. Our career development program for Black, Asian, and minority ethnic groups has been a huge success, and we were shortlisted for the CIPD award last year on D&I based on that program. So 20% of the participants from that program have actually progressed in their careers, have been promoted or got secondments or had career movements as a result. What we're doing now is taking that program and working with our industry partners to make it an industry-wide program to give more access to the employees to opportunities in networking across the industry. The third thing that we've done very successfully is our reciprocal mentoring program. So I was part of that session when I started, where the senior leaders, our exec leadership team and the reciprocal mentors had come in to talk about, how the program has been for them in the last 12 months. And it was absolutely wonderful to be part of that journey, because a lot of our leaders have recognized the blind spots, kind of realized on ground, what they're thinking sitting in their E-level C-suite jobs, what happens on ground can be very different, and how to really make effective changes. So a lot of stuff has come out of it, including, our work, which we are really picking up with our Can-Do network in the space of making it more inclusive for our disabled employees in terms of, our processes, our policies, and really making that systemic change. So given the huge success of the program, we are now opening it widely to different levels across the organization and getting more leaders involved in the reciprocal mentoring program. So a couple of things there. What we also did over the last 3 years, we've been participating in this investing in ethnicity maturity metrics, and every year we have made progress. And I'm proud to say that this year we got the exemplary employer certification for the same. Again, if people want to hear more about it, we are happy to share links and share the best practice. So that is all the work going on in Network Rail. Additionally, our Cultural Fusion Network has been carrying on with their Teas and Learns, which are massively successful sessions, and our senior leaders who got really opened their eyes through this reciprocal mentoring have been joining in those sessions and actually leading a couple of them. So that shows a real sort of little changes coming through. There is much more work to do. So I'm very keen as much to learn through this event on what other organizations are doing. And particularly, I'll tie up with you, Mark, on how you have linked your KPIs to your, PRP schemes. That would be really useful for me to get in touch with you. In terms of Race Equality Week, how we are promoting this, we touch public, and we can make real wide impact in railways. So what we are doing is we're going to be playing the videos on this across our 20 managed stations through this week, which will allow public also to see what race equality means. And that's a real great initiative that we're doing. We're also holding an industry-wide panel to have discussions around race equality and see what better can we do in this space. It's also time for reflection for us to see what has worked, what hasn't worked. Your 5-day challenge is brilliant, so we'll be encouraging that through our panel and different forums. And in particular, My Name is campaign is one we'll really be focusing on. So great to be here, and thank you for having me.
Brilliant, thank you. And that's fantastic. And definitely, we speak to the Cultural Fusion Air Race Network. In Network Rail is definitely action, not just words. So can we just play a video, Blaze, which Navleen touched upon, which is going to be shown in stations across the country? And if you do see the video at a station, take a photo and send it to us. But we will share all of videos with you after the event. If you do see it at our station, do connect to us on info@racequalitymatters.com or our social media. I'm now going to introduce you or reintroduce Raj, one of the co-founders, to talk about what Green Park are doing. So back to Raj. Thank you.
Thank you, Javed, and thank you, Navleen and Mark, for your support. As co-founders of Race Equality Matters, Green Park, a business with a DNA deep commitment to inclusion, are proud to be involved in Race Equality Week again. Our employees have really taken part in the Big Promise, with over 220 promises already made. This includes 33 promises to call out racism and microaggressions, 30 promises to take action beyond just talking about race equality, 27 promises to learn and proactively act in an anti-racist manner outside the workplace, and 27 promises to expand and diversify personal networks with people from other backgrounds in both a professional and personal capacity. And it's just Monday morning, so I would hope those numbers will grow significantly over the week. We know that Big Promise is about the need to be transparent and more accountable, and to move away from things that are just amplifying organizational aspirations. It's not a PR exercise. These are promises that are displayed in the office, and we'll be asking all employees to share them publicly during Race Equality Week, as well as sharing them on our own channels. We also will hold an internal diversity training session to support all of our employees to promote equality and inclusion within our own business. This will be followed up throughout the year with other ongoing programs of work to promote more equitable working practices. We know that action drives change. Additionally, we'll be asking our wider network, including clients, events and activity. We'll follow up that throughout the year, providing support and ensuring that our focus remains on action, not words. But last and not least, part of our own Big Promise is to drive equality and inclusion across UK workplaces. During Race Equality Week, we will be holding a free virtual showcase on inclusive leadership and building cultural connections. The session will be led by our market-leading diversity, inclusion and culture and ethics team, supporting the Race Equality Week theme. It's everyone's business, and the session will be free to attend and open to everyone. The event is open to you all, to your supply chains, to your networks, to the people who you think can help you. Taking place at 11 a.m. on Thursday the 9th, the aim is a 1-hour showcase to empower leaders and allies, network chairs, to build stronger cultural connections with their teams and drive greater accountability for positive change that promotes real racial equality within their workplaces and unleashes the power of talent or diverse talent that is currently not being used properly or given the right opportunity to make the right difference in those organizations. Led by one of our managing partners, Joe Heath, an experienced diversity and inclusion auditor who specializes in human rights, equality law, and cultural change. This event will be a free taster of the extensive inclusive leadership programs delivered to customers through our NICE consultancy practice. Hopefully this gives you a flavor of how we're hoping to be part of the solution in making it everyone's business.
Thank you, Raj. Next slide, please. So we're talking about the Big Promise. We'll just give you a quick introduction to the tool. It's broken up into 4 key parts, whether you're board, exco, senior leader, ally, ethnic diverse employees. There's a magnificent 7 promises for each category. So if you, next slide, please. So this, see who just talks a good game and those who actually step up. Next slide, please. So basically go onto the tool, which we provide a link with, you fill out details, and then you select which category you come under. We suggest you go for the most senior. So, you know, if you're ethnically diverse, but a board member, you know, tick the board member box, etc. Next slide, please. You then choose one, or in this case, Donna's chosen 3. Next slide, please. And then it automatically creates this, I call it a virtual postcard for you. Next slide, please. And in today's social media, you can upload your photo, you can see there. Next slide, please. And here's some we made earlier. So these are Green Park ones, I think. So yeah, a number there. Next slide, please. Fantastic. So what we're going to do is just show a quick video. Again, you can use to highlight what's going on this week, spotlighting some organizations.
I think, you know, the making it everyone's business is hugely important. I think number one, if it's everyone's business, the dial starts to move faster, and that's everyone. So accountability for leaders and engagement for people.
Race Equality Week, hashtag it's everyone's business, is so important because it encourages individuals and organisations alike to take positive action in addressing racial equality in the workplace.
We'll be using the week to engage colleagues, to support each other, to learn, and really focus on how we can all become better allies for race equality.
Great, thank you. So what's coming up? We've got three key events we're running this week. One is tomorrow, which is all about how to make race equality everyone's business. And you'll hear more from Mark, Tesco, Lloyd's and Green Park talking. We hear from Network Rail of the Active Allyship Programme that Navleen talked upon. And then also Race Equality Matters Trailblazer Mental Health First Aid England talking about how they've journey to become an anti-racist organisation. On Thursday, the big collaboration, how can you make race equality everyone's business? And this is where we all spend time collaborating, sharing thoughts and ideas together. There's 3 breakout sessions. One, how to get leaders and managers to up their game. Secondly, how to capture, analyze and use data from staff surveys. And the third one, how to remove the bias from recruitment. The scenes will be set from speakers from Standard Chartered Bank, our Trailblazer Auto Trader, and Power, a fantastic organization that empowers vulnerable and marginalized people to have a voice and make a real difference in their lives. So great that they're involved with us. And Friday will be the closing event where you'll all have a chance to share with each other what you did during the week. And we'll be hearing from HS2 and the Environment Agency. And I think Change the Ratio will be talking as well. Next slide. For those keen on physical events, Diversity UK, RSPCA and the Birmingham Race Impact Group are hosting live events. Again, on our website, you can access these. Next slide. Do take advantage of our special Race Equality Week jobs board of 40%, but for you attending today, and just for this week only, it's 50%. These discounts finish once Race Equality Week is over. Use code REW50, REW50 for this week. Right, for those organizations who are making impact, we want to know and showcase like Network Rail and Lloyd. So please do consider applying for Trailblazer status. It is more than an award. There are no winners and losers, just recognition of organizations that are making an impact. Next slide, please. If we can, and here's some of the early Trailblazers. Thank you. What we'd like is just 90 seconds of your time just to go through the poll for your take on how we can build these events for the future and what you and your organization may be doing. Thank you. If you can release the poll. Thank you all for participating in our closing poll. It's good to see on question 1, 94% would recommend today's event to others. And that goes down to the speakers. As you can see in question 2, 97% said it was helpful to hear from the speakers. So thank you to Raj, Mark and Navleen. Despite your tight 3-minute slots, it made a huge impact. So thank you. Question 3. Do you think Race Equality Week will help tackle race inequality in your organisations? But 70% believe so. So it's good, like nearly 3/4 think it will make a difference, and hopefully more organisations will participate. Question 4. Will your organisation take part in the 5-day challenge? As you can see here, collectively 83% said they and or their organisation will participate. So fantastic to see such an appetite for it. Question 5. Do you think the 5-day challenge will help make race equality everyone's business? So as a tool for this, so 69% said yes, only 2% saying no, but 69% saying yes, and maybe 29% not sure. Maybe they haven't sort of seen or run it yet. And question 6, in comparison to other diversity and inclusion initiatives, how effective would you rate the 5-day challenge in tackling race inequality? It's fantastic to see 68% think it'll be more or significantly more effective than other initiatives. 29% said the same, only 3% saying less than. So it's 97% saying it's going to be just that, if not more or significantly more impactful. Question 7. Will you and or your colleagues make a big promise? Good to see 72% of you said you and or your colleagues will participate in that. Only 2% saying no. Question 8. Do you think the big promise would help make race equality everyone's business? 57% said yes, and only 3% say no. Can appreciate 41% not sure, but hopefully when your organisation runs it, you can see the difference it's making. And final question. Please indicate which may be of interest. As you can see, half want to find out more about Trailblazers, so we'll be in touch with you soon about that. 19% speaking to someone about the jobs board, again we'll be in touch, and 13% want to post on the jobs board, which is brilliant. And it's great to see 17% saying make a donation or explore paid partnership marketing opportunities, which is crucial to keep Race Equality Matters sustainable. So thank you all for your support, and we will build and learn from your feedback. Thank you.
Thanks for joining today. We're only a catalyst, we're only an NFP, we haven't got miracles or millions of pounds, we can't create. What we can do is share best practice, try and get people who want to do something organised, and make sure that what happened in the past isn't what's going to happen in the future. So if you're with us, please do support us. If not, thank you for your time this morning. I'm sure we've all learned something.
Brilliant, thank you. So for those need to go back to the desk, fully understand that, appreciate it. But anyone else, please put your questions in a chat, and anyone that's around will be able to try and answer them. So have a good day all, have a good week, and do share your photos or your images and what your stories to info@raceequalitymatters.com or on our social media handles. So please do that. And so we can't do this without us all coming together. Thank you very much. Or can I have more info about Mark's work at Lloyd's to have a clear KPIs covering equality in D&I? What we'll do is we'll speak to Mark and Lloyd's after the event and work out a good way of what they can share with the wider community. And later in the year we'll talk about that. Thank you. And Lloyd's are here to partner and help amplify what they've learned, but also collaborate with others to make a difference. You. Any other question? I feel like I'm fighting a very lonely battle in my organization. Do you have any tips to increase engagement this week? I think that's what your comment is very common. Hence, that's why it needs to be everyone's business, because too many, if you read it, if it's everyone's business, attack, it does talk about it being a lonely battle. So please do look at it. And the tool in everyone's business, you can just send a daily PDF to people, and maybe people start talking about it. I see it a bit like New Year's Eve. We all make our resolutions. Everyone starts talking about it. So maybe day one, look at it, or day two, and then people can join. So do try that. And again, the big promise. But our other events may help you like that as well. Is the Network Rail video available to share? Yeah, we will share all videos. I think we showed 4 today to you all, so you can use them what's suitable for your organizations and to your customers, clients, etc. You mentioned the investing in diversity matrix. Could you send us more information about that? We'll get that information from Navleen and put it in a follow-up email in due course. I will also general. So someone's promoting join the On Revolution on 13th of May. We'll look at this and share it with everyone. So it's Bristol, a radio station talking about it. I think Raj may be joining that conversation as well. So thank you, Jules. Appreciate that. There's a repeated question regarding visual impairment and neurodiversity inclusion. There's a repeated question, sorry, regarding visual impairment and neurodiversity inclusion. Has anyone seen that question? If someone could call it out. I admit we are, as an organization, learning how to make our events more inclusive. I think that's why we record these events, so you can access them after the event. Mark, just as you're here, is there anything you could comment about sharing some of the KPIs and work Lloyds are doing?
Yeah, I'll be more than happy to share those. Essentially, culture is one of our 4 strategic pillars at Lloyd's, and therefore the entire leadership group have KPIs around that, linked to some of our publicly stated targets. So women in leadership, our 1 in 3 hiring ambition, becoming disability confident leaders, employee engagement scores for leadership and leadership development. But yes, I'd be happy to do a short session on KPIs anytime for you.
Brilliant, thank you. I can't see on the screen. If Navleen, if you're around, are you able to say anything about the maturity index? She may have gone, actually. Okay. One question I was interested in from earlier is from Donna. How is impact change managed? I mean, for Race Equality Week to be assessed, what would be the outcome? I think that's something we capture after the event. We capture a survey to ask people, did it make a difference? And I think, like the lady, I think it was lady said, it's lonely there. Maybe, at the end of the week, she feels she's not alone anymore. So I think that there are a number of measures, but sometimes you get a feeling in an organization. And I guess if you could get a lot of people making a big promise, like Mark mentioned, people are becoming accountable and transparent. I'm going to do this. So you can go back, I will go back to Mark now. He's got it out there in 3 months' time. Mark, you said you're going to do A and B. How is it going? And he might have done A and B's going to take a bit longer, but that's fine. But this is how we get it. We know one organizations, they've all put their big promise in the reception. They've got now more ethnically diverse clients, that they're a social change charity, more for the community engaging, and they've got more people at top table that are now ethnically diverse, and they're getting a better representation coming in at entry level as well. So just by putting the big promise there, and they said people live and breathe these promises in their organization. So that's one way of doing that. How has Lloyd's been able to get the culture as one part of the 4 pillars of your strategy? So I guess that was a challenge, Mark, maybe, but let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a core part of our strategy, along with performance, digitalization, and purpose. Culture is the 4th part of that. And we've been able to get culture as part of that because it's been very important for the Lloyd's market over the last few years. We're a global business and we're a global marketplace. So we know that we've got to invest in diverse talent. And we know over the past 3 years, in order to do that effectively, there are shifts that we've had to make around the culture, and we've been measuring that culture change and improvements in diversity, not only in the corporation but in the wider market for a while, with very specific improvements. And it's also linked into the oversight or quasi-regulatory activity that Lloyd's has for managing agents in the market. So it is very much a part of how we work at the corporation and the work we do with the market.
Thank you, Mark. I've noticed Lily Network from Network Rail. Hello, Lily. And Shoku from BBC have both shared links for the Investing Ethnicity Maturity Index. So, if you look in the chat, it's most recent ones. I said we will include it in the follow-up emails as well. But thank you both for sharing that. This is all about collaboration, but before me Googling and sending everyone the wrong link, we can do that. How is Lloyd's Angelina, to Mark again, how is Lloyd's measuring the change in culture?
Great. Well, we measured in two ways. First of all, we have an MPP, or Markets, Policies and Practices return. And we look at the policies and practices in place across the market, but that gives us a measure of diversity. So we collect all the diversity data through the MPP. And secondly, we have a culture survey, which measures people's perceptions, their experiences all across the marketplace, across a number of strands related to culture, inclusive practices, one of them, etc. And then we are able to take that data set and disaggregate it by diverse groups and look at the cultural experience for different groups. And we then put in place actions to address that. So, for example, this year in the Lloyd's market, we're running an upskilling program for the entire market across the year on aspects of diversity, inclusion, inclusive leadership, and cultural things like speaking up. So that's how we do it. It's a mixture of both hard data and perception surveys, and of course, then we have our regular engagement with firms in the market, all leading to our oversight regulatory process, where we formally manage that with our managing agents, and then give them feedback on areas for improvement.
Brilliant, thank you. Just going back to Donna's question earlier, how do you manage impact? I think we saw in a poll early on that it's typically ethnically diverse colleagues are driving change. A small percentage of allies and leaders and managers. I guess what at the end of Race Equality Week, and then actually Race Equality Week to me is the start of the year, if you want to call it that. You want to see these numbers change, so actually more leaders and more managers are stepping up. And you'll hear in the talks at the events later this week about how organizations, leaders are driving it, but not on their own, and how managers are having to take a role, and how race networks are engaged. So it's it then becomes everyone's business. Most organizations, it's the HR lead is doing the lonely battle, or the D&I lead, or the race network lead, or the likes of Mark trying, but no one else around it. So I think you'll get that sort of sense. We're providing these simple tools, and Network Rails, Cultural Fusions, Tea Break is a really good example to engage and create the conversations. So people are saying they're going goodbye. We've got time for one more question. So who's the first on there? Are the recordings for the events shareable? Yes, we will share them after. It might take a couple of days for us to edit it down. When I say edit down, is cut out the faffy bits, me mumbling. So yes, we can share that, but the videos will be available. The 4 videos that you saw today will be available. That's to Kelly. Thank you for your phonetic spelling. And again, Race Equality North Somerset, cheeky question mark. Would you, Lloyds, be able to provide examples, templates, or the documents you use to track cultural change that you just mentioned?
So certainly we can share the methodology. The templates might not make exact sense for everybody, but we'd be happy to talk through the methodology, the cultural transformation framework that we use, which is based on the 5 culture principles for the Lloyd's market. So yes, more than happy to run people through how we make that work, from setting the principles to monitoring against it to using it in oversight, etc. More than happy.
Brilliant, thank you. And this is how Safe Space, 5-day challenge, The Big Promise, and Tea Break were created. People like Mark shared something that's inside. People are really interested, and what we do is we co-collaborate with the likes of Mark and Lloyd and the community to make it work or adopt it in a way, because we know it's working. So we'll keep in mind of the importance of that. I think that's it. That's a wrap. So everyone, please have a good, positive week. Do share your things. We appreciate, for some it's tough, but I think it's a step at a time. And the more we can get engaged, the better. Remember, Race Equality Week is the start of the year. Don't put it back in the box after. And it was built on the back of Black History Month, because we knew people put Black History Month in the box, and it comes out, I think, 31st of October. So 30th of September, ready for October. Let's just keep the momentum going and share your stories. All right. Thank you all. Thanks tons, Mark. I don't know if you've got 2 minutes at the end, but goodbye to everyone else. Thank you very much.